Hello guys, this is my website that I created with HTML about 3D printing. HTML is what lets the website read and use the rest of my coded text. I use CSS properties in my website in a program called cPanel. I use these properties to style my web pages. I also use Pixlr for the logos, the banner, and the background. It's right here. I use this through Pixlr, which is a photo editing application that can manipulate color, contrast, layers, and size. This is my abstract. It shows how 3D printing can impact our lives in many positive ways, from replacing limbs or from developing technology in multiple fields. It gives us great benefits. The first thing in my table of contents is my purpose page. My purpose page explains how 3D printing explains what the purpose of 3D printing is. 3D printing can create objects using different layers, so when you print they will become 3D. It can be used to make your own inventions or create prototypes. This has been used with many companies like Nike, which uses it for their shoes before they make them with actual fabric to test out their shoes. The medical field has also taken the liberty to use this technology by incorporating them in making higher quality 3D printed limbs for people that lean limbs after losing them in horrendous accidents. The next section is about the impacts of 3D printing and how it has a benefit or harmful effects. The benefits of this innovation include being able to print or build anything on your computer with the exact customs and dimensions that you want. This can also be for color, it can have the exact color and the exact material that you want it to. You can always keep editing it and come back to it, and it's saved, so that's very convenient. And some of the bad effects are that the materials that you use are relatively expensive, so you're not going to want to waste them. You're going to want to be very careful with them. 3D printing also takes a significant amount of time, depending on whether it's a low quality printing or a high quality printing. Low quality printing can take as little as 10 minutes, but with high quality, it could take several hours or up to a day. So you really have to be careful with what you want to do and provided what amount of time you have. Next, I talk about the impact that my innovation has had on society, the economy, and our culture. Economically, it has had a very big effect because it makes manufacturing process a lot easier and more efficient. This in turn will reduce the cost and the margin of error the companies have to go through. Then this will trickle down to the consumers, and they will serve more money. They will save more money in turn. This can impact also how we do things in our everyday, how we furnish our homes, and also what we eat if we can get to 3D print our own food. This can impact the society because it can be revolutionary towards ending world hunger. Another thing is that this could also put businesses at stake of dying out if nobody is buying their products anymore except for the printing stores. This will be because they will have to compete with this new technology that it makes it more convenient to just print stuff at your own home, which could have a big impact on society, making that era a more technology driven 3D printed era. It could also affect our culture because even though some people will still stick to the old school style, they will have to accept that everything's becoming computerized and yeah. Now here is a YouTube video of a regular student telling us her knowledge of 3D printing and the benefits she thinks 3D printing may have. Here, I talk about another field other than computer science, which my innovation has the potential to have a great impact on. The field that I chose was the medical field because, like how I've said, um, when people have a lost limb in an accident or something, 3D printing has the technology to create the perfect replacement for that person, and it has been demonstrated over time. Here, there's a chart that shows how much 3D printing has focused on the medical field over the years and what it is projected to be in 2023. This increase is probably because they are trying to research more things on how to 3D print organs so they could save more lives, and we could be truly revolutionary because instead of waiting for an organ donor, you could just 3D print a liver or heart and heal the person. Now, here's another video that you can find on my website about 3D printed prosthetic limbs for refugees. Next, I will be talking about the tech of my innovation. The way a user interacts with the innovation can be either a job or a hobby. People can use 3D printed to create projects, prototypes, or they could just try different experiments for fun. Anybody can purchase their own 3D printer, so anybody can go on and make designs or simply study how the 3D printer works. This could be done by working with dimensional layers, color pigmentation, cropping, and blueprinting objects that they may want to print. Next, I talk about which of these big ideas this technology incorporates. And I chose abstraction, programming, and the internet. I did this because 3D printing includes abstraction because it involves using your own creative ideas from your mind and on paper, and then you will and then turn them into 3D programs on your computer. In order to get a 3D printed object, you have to download a program via the internet to start your blueprint. Some 3D programs are Autodesk 123D, Blender, and FreeCAD. These programs allow the 3D printing users to access the tools that they need to create their abstract ideas. Without the internet, though, none of this would be possible. In this section, I will talk about how this innovation consumes data or its input and how it produces it or its output. The way that 3D printing inputs data is through a program which inputs codes and layers. This layers are what makes what changes the object on the screen from a 2D object to a 3D object once you print it out. The output of this data is the actual 3D printed object. And this will happen once you finish all your coding and layers and press print. This can take anywhere from from minutes to an hour to hours. And that is how it transforms data through input and output. Some of the data concerns are data security. Since everything's happening through a program and a lot of confidential information is being put on these programs to make 3D printed objects, there are a lot of hackers out there that can get a hold of this confidential information. Another data concern is that your program or printer cannot withstand the amount of data that you want to print. This can make your data become lost, or if you try to put too much detail in a 3D printer that can't withstand it all, your object might come out looking all wacky. And in this section, I have a list of references that I use to create this website. One of my references here showed me, it helped me gain knowledge for the purpose of 3D printing. It showed me the process for actual printing and programming. It also showed me the history of 3D printing and some of the terminology as well. Thank you for listening to my project. For more information, go to chris101718.vps.cs.uri.edu/index. And thank you.